Welcome to Pair Basis Trading, where we go over stocks that are of the highest quality, just like a pair basis. I'd like to start off by saying that I am not a financial advisor, and this is not financial advice. So please take my words with caution, as this is all my opinion. Now I'm going to show you a different stock that I get into. This one is Activision Blizzard, ATVI. I go to statistics again, and here return assets is 8.23%, return equity 15.78. They're both not at 10% higher, but close enough. At least one of them is. And then I'll go to right after I see it checks out over there. I'll go to the chart, and I look at the weekly stochastics. You see how it went below the 20 and it started going out, and then the weekly MACD histogram started sloping up here as well. So it confirmed that I could get in, so I would get in there, and then now I would stay in there until I see a divergence with the on balance volume. If you watch my other video, I like to really track the on balance volume and have it match up with the movement of the stock price. Every time the on balance volume matches the movement of the stock price, it confirms the movement of the stock price. If it doesn't match the movement of the stock price, that's a divergence, then I would jump out of the stock, unless I wasn't making money and I feel like I still want to stay in the stock. Then I'll stay in there a little bit. What I notice is if I pick quality companies, like going back here, see how I picked I like it 10% or higher. Companies like that are always going to be in the top tier of all companies in their category if they're at least 10% or higher. So what I've noticed is they always trend upwards. So even if let's say I get into a stock and then it goes, let's say I get in over here, for example, actually over here 20, it went down, it didn't really go up, it started going down a bit, but eventually it did start going back up again, as you can see here, because it's quote-unquote pair basis quality company. And in addition to it being quality, the other factor that makes it a pair basis for me is that it's oversold. It's the weekly stochastics is at the below the 20% level, so it makes it oversold. So two factors: the quality of the company and it being oversold, and then of course the matching with the on-balance volume all helps makes it pair of aces pick for me. So going back here, I would get in here and then I would stay in until there's a divergence in the on-balance volume. We can track how the stock did past year. You can see how here on balance volume, then it went back here. This peak is not as high as this peak, and it kind of matched here with the stock movement. Here, then this peak is higher than this peak, just like this peak's higher than this peak. This peak is lower than this peak, and it matches here. So it's matching up well. Here's something. Let's see what else here. Here's another point that I like to also look for. If I see a divergence in the bottom here, not just the top part, if I see a divergence in the bottom, then it's also a good point to jump in as well. I don't see any divergence here. Here's a divergence. If you no, I can't see this last part. Let's see if I see any divergences. As an example, here's a good example. You see this bottom here matches up over here with the stock, and then this bottom is actually higher than this bottom, as you can see. However, when you match it up with the stock, this bottom is lower than this bottom. So that's a divergence. The on-balance volume did not match the movement of the stock. If this were reverse, let's say this one was on the a divergence up in the up here, then I would get out. In this case, it's a divergence when it's in the bottom part, and it's a good time to get in as well. See the divergence here again, this bottom here, and then this bottom is higher than that bottom, but here this bottom is lower than that bottom, and because of that divergence it doesn't match, so it's a good time to get in. And as you can see, it would have been a really good time to get in because the stop went up from this point on all the way up to there. So as you can see, I really like to use the on-balance volume and have that match up with the movement of the stock when I make decisions. And I also mentioned I also like to look at the weekly MACD histogram to confirm. That's mainly to confirm with the weekly stochastics, but again, on balance volume, I really look for those divergences. That really helps out with making decisions. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more of this type of content, please feel free to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below on what stock you'd like me to rate next, and I'll tell you if I think it's the next pair of aces.